Good morning, Void. So, head just popped off the pillow, so I figured I'd get my review out of the way so I could try to get in more movies today. And I have no idea what my hair is doing right now. Okay, so, last night I was queuing up Netflix. And since that one's kind of the more barren scape for me to find movies, I might have to be dipping into some more of the sci-fi rather than horror once for the month, but hey, we'll keep going. But last night, well, I clicked on a movie that I might not have otherwise clicked on, but I saw someone else talk about it once, and the way they described it made it sound more interesting. But, which is kind of why I'm doing the whole watching everything on Shudder, because you never know what's gonna be a hidden gem. And I really liked The Perfection. Okay, so I didn't know much about it going into it because the reviewer made a point to not talk a lot about it. And I think I'm going to find myself in that same boat because the twists in this one are really what make it. And knowing little going in really makes this one hit. Okay, so what can I say about this one? So plot lines. Essentially, Charlotte is a former professional cellist. She went to this prestigious school but had to drop out due to her mother taking ill. She had to take care of her mother for about 10 years, but when her mother passed away, she reaches back out to see about getting in touch with her old mentor to try to start finding her way again. Her mentor's already, well, still runs the school, so he's got a new prodigy named Elizabeth, or Lizzie. So, but she's welcome to come join on for this trip down to Shanghai. Well, she and Lizzie actually hit it right off. She said she was kind of a fan of Lizzie's work and has been heard a lot of her things. And Lizzie herself actually was rather inspired by Charlotte when she was much younger. So those two hit it off. They hit it off very well. Then they start becoming what looks to be a kind of a cute couple. Wow. So Lizzie was actually about to go on this vacation, and she invites Charlotte along, and from there, things start happening. I will say, at first, this looks like it's going to turn into your run-of-the-mill pandemic or disease film, which I guess is one of the reasons I did put off actually clicking on it as long as I did, because right now those are kind of too topical. But it only stays in that territory for so long. That only factors into a certain aspect of the film. And it doesn't focus on it over long, so don't let that turn you off to it. I can't really go into more about it, but I will say I did like the twists. Especially since the movie kind of takes a moment to actually rewind itself to show you a scene or two that was missed, which kind of shows how things got to this point. So, kind of functions on like a stylized mystery in those areas. The film does get a little bloody, but not too overall. But definitely has a lot of disturbing implications, particularly about how the school itself functions and how several students were treated. So yeah, a few warnings about sexual abuse in this film. So if that's a trigger for anyone, I might want to steer clear of The Perfection. But otherwise, yeah, this movie kind of blew me away. I really like the chemistry between Lizzie and Charlotte, and I really liked each of them as a character. And though they definitely aren't always on the same page or same side of things, I was always kind of still hoping that something was work because the stuff was really cute. And when things start going wrong and Lizzie starts getting sick, they show that in the trailer. You hope things will go well. The characters are very endearing. The whole thing is very well acted. and the effects actually do hold up fairly well. I've rated movies pretty highly that had worse effects than this one. Um, but yeah, it's really hard to talk about this movie because I don't want to spoil things. But I will say one of the then the first twist, like the second it's it go ooh, that part kicks up to 11, you realize, oh, something's wrong here. That it goes back right then. So because that part seems so out of left field, but then it does explain exactly why someone suddenly pulls out a cleaver. But the second it does rewind a second time, and it's at a point where you really needed it to, because it was one of those things where it's about to go train wreck, and then it goes back and comes the wreck and goes, oh, wait a moment, and I liked it. It definitely it's an over the top movie, and you have to kind of throw some suspension of disbelief because the story itself is pretty improbable. But that's never a problem for me. But yeah, the perfection actually it's now vying for like my favorite movie for the month between this one and Glorious, and I'm not sure which one's gonna win out actually yet. I don't remember what I actually gave Glorious. If I give that an 8 or a 9, but I'm giving Perfection a 9. It was good. I mean, I can't see it being for everyone, but for me, it was definitely a hit. Yeah, so I highly recommend checking it out. Going cold, going blind. It's definitely the way to do it. All right. I'll see you guys later. Yep, just woke up. See ya.